Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Indices report, and starting with the ASX 200 here on the 4-hour chart. I've had to adjust the Elliott Wave count because of a little spike in this little section here relating back to the US Euro trade deal there that's spiked the market in different ways in different countries. So before we had wave 2 in here, and I was looking at this as being wave 1 to the upside and pulling back for wave 2 here, but because of the spike down here, not that it matters so much on the futures market on leverage products, because Elliott did all his work on non-leverage products such as the Dow and so on. But this also occurred on the cash market here as well, so I mean a lower than this one here. So I've got to put this over here. The other point that sort of comes in here now too is that because we're working with wave 4 here, we know wave 4s can get complicated, like this one in here. So this one may be a reflection of a larger one of these, because each degree that we go up here, and we know that from the trading levels where we use Fibonacci as a price ratio on the side here, we know that as the market moves up, say from 3 here, then the next Fibonacci number is 5, which is our second target up here. So that's the same for corrections as well. If this degree of structure here is this, then this one here will be, say, 61.8% bigger, but that's not always the case, because when you got the Fibonacci numbers between 1 and 2 here, then that's 100%, isn't it? So the further it goes out in price or in numbers or in the sequence, the closer to the 61.8% it comes. But as a rule of thumb, this one here, this correction should be bigger than this one here. So it's quite possible that that this here still needs to be finished over here with a more complex structure in here, which I have done on this 2-hour chart here, but this is just an alternative count here, and it's all 1 degree smaller. It's probably not the case, but it's not really the point that I want to get across. The point I want to get across is this one here would be blue, if that was going to be the case, but you can just see how much wider it is. So an A and a B and a C here for the A wave, an A and a B here, and a C wave here for the B wave here, then another 3 wave structure for C, another for D, and another for E here. So quite a complex sort of structure if that plays out. In both cases, we will see this one here push up here because we're looking for a 5-wave sequence here, but in the other market we're looking for this to pull back in 3 waves here, a reaction from the 300, and then move up from there. But look, it will all come, at the end of the day, it will all come down to this number here being support. If this number can gain a nice tested support here, then you need to be trading long, and then we can look much higher up to the 6,500 at that stage. So coming back to where we were now, just on the 4-hour chart, whichever way we look at it, we'll look at the hourly chart in a moment and refine this here a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to stay with this particular count here. It's just the best fit, that's all. But at the same time, we know that from this move here, we know that we're going to be moving up here, probably just a tad higher or something, and then we'll have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave that can pull back to the 50-60% retracement level and then move up. So really, these highs here that get established will become the reference points to be triggering long trades a little bit later on in all of this. So that's what you're really looking for, that number there as a tested support. Just going to the hourly chart and just going through this a little bit here. So wave 4 here, looking at this as wave 1, wave A, wave B, and wave C here, and then looking at this being an impulse wave to the upside in terms of 1 and 2, and looking for up into this space here. I also can say too that with the levels here, it's always good to know both sides of what goes on here. So this number, basically, while this 1 and 2 are doing its thing there, it will be between this space here. So the top of group 1 and back for group 2 here again. That's where it will all play out. And it's always good not to sort of rush in on places, you know, and certainly not over trade when you're rushing. So if this top number here, the 6,330, if that becomes a tested support, say if this moved up kept on moving up through here and had a little movement around here because of the old highs or whatever, and then moved up and actually found support on that, and you have to distinguish between the market trading above here, because it might need just to create a reference point above there. Do you know what I mean? So you don't trade it long just because it's above there. You wait for it to fall back, and it can fall back down to the 2 here or the halfway mark here. But eventually, if it finds support here, you've got your reference points, well, then you can go along here. So if I've made a mistake and the market continues, then that's the deciding factor there, that 30 there. Okay, so you'd need to be long from there. But otherwise, we need to see this. We'll see Friday today. So it's a bullish day. So and I think this is a little bit more like this actually. So this needs to push up into here, pull back into here, push up into here, and then have an A and a B and a C. And it may, there's 50-60% retracement levels down here, but it may only come into this space here and then move up from there. So the stochastics works quite well with Elliott Wave. The gentleman that invented the stochastics, George Lane, he used to use Elliott Wave and his stochastics and trade intraday on the S&P 500. He must have passed away a good 15 years ago now or so, but yeah, so the stochastics is good for picking the tops and the bottoms if you get, if you tune it in properly. Okay, well look, I'll leave it at that, but at the end of the day it's all about this number here becoming support, and also the other 3 within here as well, the 30. Okay, for China, so with China, we've got this particular pattern here. We had to go long on a signal above the 11,500 here, but there's still a good chance that this market can be, I think there's still one more wave to come up here, and it could be bullish and just continue up here, but there's also the chance that it can still have this as a wave 4, even though it's pulled back a long way. Technically, this little wave 1 down here, coming over to here, we don't want to see wave 4 move through the price territory of wave 1 here. It breaks one of the Elliott rules, especially at this degree of structure. So if we can get a clear breakthrough here through above this wave 1 here, then we'll know that we're on the right track to go further. But it's still possible that, because I'm still pretty much one little wave short in this structure coming down through here. So let's just go in and have a look at that. If it was going to be to the upside, then this is how we would look at it with wave 1 here and wave 2 here. We had to take this signal here because it got support here. This move up here doesn't seem to be completed. It's still got wave 1 and 2 here, and there's 5 waves in here for 3 and back for 4 here. It has pulled back a little bit too far, but look, we will stay long in this while the market is above the 11,500 here. Maybe you've taken some profit at the next largest number, the 12,000 here. Maybe not, but still, as I mentioned, it was high risk, but we won't get out of this trade unless this 11,500 is breached in some way. But otherwise we'll look for this to move higher in line with the other Asian markets. So oops, I'll just grab the Hong Kong market as its neighbour. It's the same thing here as well, in a sense, because we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, and we're looking for wave 5. This can be the low of wave 5 here, or we can put wave 4 over here. We haven't gone long in this market. I didn't want to go long in both of them. That was taking on too much risk, but there's still possibilities for this to move down here to complete this particular structure here, and the 38.2% retracement level will come in from, where are we, from wave 2 here, and we take it not from that bottom but from this bottom here. So that comes in on the 38.2% retracement level there. So this would be an A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, and up for the C wave here. So we'll be able to see that. I think I'll put that on another chart here. So just to sort of show this, but I think that we're also one wave short here as well. So wave 3 here, an A wave, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and then 1 and 2. I can get 5 waves from this, so wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, the fourth wave and the fifth wave. So it can be a top in this space here as well, but that's the 38.2% retracement level. So if we do see, oops a daisy, if we do see a move up through here, breaching this one here, then we'll know that we're on our way to the upside at that point, but would still wait for a pullback to move into this. And the bigger picture would be to try and get one trade in below this large number here, and then look to build on top of that, moving to the upside. But this downside here still lingers here, and we just, it's not out of the race just yet. The Nikkei here, just on the daily chart here, once again here, this is the major level, so this is the most important number here in all of this picture, and then we have group 1 here of minor degree, so 1, 2 and 3 here. So with the levels, I know that if we get support on the level here, then we'll be pushing up to the 5 here. So that's what I'm really waiting for, so I can confirm all of this move to the upside. However, in moving to the upside here, we noticed that we had a little impulse wave here, so we look to build in long trades, based on that, and we have this up here as an impulse wave, and then back, and then another impulse wave here. So I could count this as 1 and 2 and 3 here, and back for 4. I could also count this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here of 1 degree, and then the next degree smaller up for 1 and back for 2 here. And then moving up from that point there. So I don't know which way to count that at the moment. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Obviously we knew that coming back up into the 23 here, the old highs and the level, would create some resistance here and profit taking and so on. So that's in play at the moment. Let's just give this a session before we look at it in detail again, rather, because we know what these are here. But once again, we need to see this being the support here. Otherwise, if it fails to get up here and starts to move down in here again, then we need to look at this wave 4 being more complex and being over here somewhere. So that's not out of the game either just yet. So, but this bullish count is looking good, but to me it's all about this number here. And there's plenty of time, so don't risk something that you don't need to, because support on this level here straight away will put this target. So there's enough pie there for yourself and everybody else in that. But I do like the bullish picture here, and the same with the Nifty as well here. And the good thing about looking at all these different markets in this region in Asia is because some of the markets, there's followers and there's leaders, and obviously, India is a big country, and basically, I think it's going to be taking over the middle class of manufacturing and purchasing from China in 2025 or something of that nature. So it's a big market. So. and it's leading to the upside. You know, it's got no it's got no sort of, I mean, it's got its problems obviously, but yeah, not with the rest of the world, so to speak. So in this market here, we're pretty much on track here, I think. So in this, we're considering wave 4 done here and dusted, and then wave 1 here and wave 2, and wave 1 and 2 here, and then the third wave to the upside here. We could still be in wave 4 and having this as an A wave here, and an A and a B and a C wave here for a larger B wave, and then down here. So I know all that, but I just play the levels. And what we want to see here is that we've got 11,000, which is important, and then we've got group 1 again. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 here. If we get support on top of 3, the 300 here, then we'll push on to 5 here. And of course, we'll have a reaction here. So this 11,500 here, this is a medium level. So we've got major level, minor levels in here, and medium level here. So this wave structure up here is moving nicely, and it should come in quite close to the 11,300 area here. So let's just move into the 4-hour chart. So looking for wave 3 moving into this space. So far here we need to count this up through here, and we know that it's always good to use you know, when we've got say 11,000 here, we've got a correction here, it's good to build on top of this one. It's good to build in on top of the 100, to build in on top of the 200, build in on top of the 300. Once we're on the 300, we just wait till we get to the 500. The 400 won't give, number 4 won't give us any grief here. But you know, if number 4 was a medium level, like $4 or $400 dollars, not in an index sense here, then it won't give us too much problems at all here. So really, the wave count up here looks quite good at this stage. We'll just go to the hourly chart because I think we've been mucking around on that a little bit. So from this wave 4 here, we've got little wave 1 up here and 2 here, and I've been conservative here as well. Because I've well, I'll just stay with this from wave 2 to wave 3 here. I think this is an A and a B and a C wave for wave 4. I just need to sort of sit with that a little while. I'll go back over and check that. And then we've got wave 5 moving up. So wave 5 would be wave 1 and 2 in here. And then this is too small to be wave 3 here so far. So it's still building to the upside here. It will give us some sort of corrective pattern across the 200 there, so expect that. I suppose we can go up to, see the 11,230 there. That would be the top of group 1 of that particular level below there. So if that finds support, then you know you'll be going up to the 5 at that time, 11,250. And then, so we may not get to this point here, but I know that normally when we get support here, we'll test this here. So that's why I've left them up there, and that's why I'll probably need to rework the wave count a little bit. I'm happy with it for the time being, but if we get support here, we should be pushing up into this level here. So we'll just play with that. We'll look for that, and we'll just stay long at this particular stage as well. Yeah, we didn't get in on above here, but we've got 3 positions in this so far. So you can build in again, but we're getting close to this wave 3 top here. So yeah, we need to be a little bit careful at this point. Right, alrighty, that's it for Asia. So if Friday closes strong, then it's likely that Monday will follow through on that again, with profit taking on the Tuesday morning, and then the trend resuming again as well. So thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Cheers.